Hello and welcome back to the Battle Backstage podcast. I'm your host, Isabella Moll, and today I'm here with Leilani Arias.
Hi.
I'm so excited to announce that she is going to be our first guest on the Understudy Series here on the Battle Backstage podcast. And without further ado, let's get into it. Just a little bit about our Understudy Series. We will be having lesser known actors or people in the industry here on the podcast. We will be able to interview them, talk about how they got started in the entertainment industry, and just share their spotlight with the world. Because everyone in the industry deserves their chance to shine. There's more than enough room for all of us, all shapes, all sizes, all genders. And here at the Battle Backstage podcast, we are really pushing for equality in these spaces and in the entertainment industry. Let's get started into Leilani's journey and her life and her journey becoming an actor.
Yay.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm so excited to have you here today.
Rod, thanks for having me. I'm so honored.
And would you like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Leilani. I am a 25-year-old actress living here in LA. I'm originally from New Jersey, but I moved out here about 3.5 years ago to pursue acting. All throughout my life, I did musical theater and I was involved in dance. But then eventually I just wanted to focus on acting. So I went to a performing arts high school for acting, and that was my first time being in front of the camera and just learning about film and TV. And I just got so passionate and inspired. So I knew that that was what I wanted to do. But then going into college, I didn't really want to go for an acting degree because you don't necessarily need a degree in acting to become an actor. So I was like, what could I possibly do that's not acting related that would be a plan B sort of career? So I decided to major in elementary education and math, which was so awful. Oh my
Speaking
God.
to the wrong person, I hate math.
Yeah, no, it was the worst.
Good for you, though.
Yeah, I'm honored and grateful that I get to say I'm part of the 7% of women who have a degree in STEM, but
I love that.
That was actually torture. I was reevaluating my decision. I was why am I doing this? I cannot
Questioning
go through
life choices.
Exactly. I was I cannot go through another year or so, whatever, of math. It was just awful, but I pushed through, and now I have the 2 degrees, and we love it. But it was just so crazy because that final year of college, the universe was fully showing me that teaching was not meant for me. There's a series of tests that you have to take as or to become a teacher, and I kept failing this one test. It was a social studies test. I kept missing it by 2 or 3 points.
Wow.
And I retook the test probably 4 times. And that was the first instance where I was okay, this is not meant for me. And then we had to do a bigger assessment. And again, I took it twice and I kept missing it by 2 to 3 points. I was you know what? Clearly this isn't meant for me. I'm not doing teaching. So, I mean, regardless, I was leaning more towards becoming an actor anyway. So that final year, my senior year, I was you know what? I'm moving out to the West Coast, moving to LA to become an actor. And I've been loving it ever since. It's so great.
I love to hear that. It's always so interesting to me to hear everyone's story because there's such a huge misconception and myth out there that we as actors or people who are actors don't have something else in their lives, that they're just actors. Everyone has either they have a degree or they're going to school or they have a whole nother life outside of just acting. And anyone's career can take off at any moment, and so I think that's so special to hear about not only your experience, but you went to school for something completely different and you still found your way back to performing and becoming an actor.
Yeah, no, it's just great that I have that to fall back on, my degrees, but honestly, I don't think teaching is for me. Doing student teaching, I was in a kindergarten classroom and although they were like so cute and precious, it was just a lot. So I'm grateful for the experience, but it's showed me that acting is my passion. If anything, like I could still get myself involved in teaching if like acting wasn't to work out, but I'm putting like my whole 100% in my heart into acting.
A lot of people are like you, where they have this plan B, they have this degree, or they're really like pushing themselves in it and saying this is the only option, this is the end all be all. And how do you feel about that in a standpoint of just like being realistic and also having this big dream of being an actor and being in an industry that's really hard to break into?
I guess for me, I just have like the confidence in myself that I will eventually make it in the industry. It's just like a matter of when. And like I always believe in like the universe and like God's perfect timing. So of course, like I would love to be an actor right now and be like making all these movies and TV shows, but of course like you have to find the right project that suits you and that the casting directors want you for. So you could be waiting years for that. So I think it's very important, like as an actor, to have a plan B. Like, of course, it's important to have that 100% confidence in yourself and be like, I know I'm going to make it. And like, this is the only thing I want to be doing. But realistically, like you need to be able to support yourself, and living in LA, it's not cheap at all. So you really need to be able to support and like live on your own, be independent, and make this money. So then eventually when you book roles, you're not like struggling like on the way up. Yeah.
I love that. I love what you said about being realistic. And a lot of people don't have a lot of realistic mindsets or realistic ideas about what it means to be an actor when you're not that top 1%, that A-list actor. And that's so important for other young and up-and-coming actors to know and understand that there needs to be an extent of realism on both ends, on working on set as an actor and also being a human who has to pay bills and a water bill and a phone bill and buy my groceries and, you know, take care of myself, be able to go out and have fun and, you know, pay all these things. On that note, do you have a part-time job?
I do. I actually work as a hostess at a restaurant. I feel like that's the typical pipeline for actors. You're either like a server or a hostess. I feel like you have to like pay your dues as you work your way up in the industry. But yeah, I've been doing that for a little over 3 years now. And some days I'm just like, I need to get out of here. I need to make it in the industry now. Like I cannot with hospitality anymore. But
again, what you said about like the realistic part of it, where the
yeah,
bills,
like I still have to pay my bills and like I still like, I don't know, I like to live life, have fun, so I need to make money somehow. So at least like with that job, it gives me the flexibility to still pursue acting. Like I don't just do hostessing, I also do background work, which is how we met. So I do like a little bit of that, a little bit of hostessing, and that's basically like my full-time job at the moment. It's just like, yeah, like flipping between the two. But yeah, like it's, I don't know, it's like easy money. Like you clock in for 8 hours, leave, and then you get a nice paycheck. So it's nice doing that, but I truly love doing background work. I think it's so much fun. You meet so many cool, amazing people, and you just gain so much knowledge. Like this is what I want to be doing, of course. So I'm like, any chance I get to be on set, I will take it. So yeah, I love
that. Yeah, I love that for you. How is that with your schedule? Like, does your part-time job get in the way of auditions, or how do you manage your time properly while being on set and being a working actor, but also having that part-time job?
So ever since I started working at the restaurant, I told them I only want to be put on the schedule like Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Because like I know for the most part things film like during the week. I mean, including Fridays, but I'm able to either tell the restaurant, like, hey, I can't come in this day. And, like, they're totally, like, understandable, too. Like, a lot of people will join the job and they're also actors. So they get it. And, like, also, like, being in LA, like, they should have some sort of understanding. But, yeah, like, I haven't really had any issues, like, about that since I don't really work during the week. Like, of course, I will pick up a shift here and there, like, if I'm not working on set. But honestly, like, it's nice being able to fully commit to acting, like, Monday through Thursday, and then work to pay my bills Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Do you have an agent?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was that experience? How did you find this agent? And brain, let me say that again. Do you have an agent?
Yes, I do.
And how was that experience? And how did you get that agent?
So actually, I did a like workshop through my acting studio, and it was like a brand new thing that they implemented. It's called like industry hours. So like either once or twice a month, my studio will bring in like a casting director. Well, most of the time it's a casting director, but sometimes it'll be an agent. And I think it was like the very first time they ever did it, they brought my agent in, and like it was over Zoom. So the spots were limited. I think it was like only 10 or 12 people could be in the Zoom. So you just had to perform like a 1 to 2 page scene in front of her, and she gives you feedback. And after the workshop, I was like, you know what? I'm going to email her. I'm just going to shoot my shot, as they say. But I just like emailed her, reached out. I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for your feedback. Like, I really appreciate it. Here's my headshot and resume. If you're interested, like, let me know. And then her like secretary got back to me. Well, actually, I had to double message. I got no reply the first time. I was like, oh my God. I wonder if she even read the message.
Probably not.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm going to double email her. So I sent another follow-up email. And then her secretary got back to me and was like, hey, like, we'd love to schedule a meeting with you. But it was like for 2 months in the future. I was like, oh my God, I have to wait a whole 2 months, but like, whatever, I'll take it. So 2 months later, I had the meeting with her. I was so nervous. My heart was pounding. I was like, oh my God. And she had her dog there too. So that was very comforting. And the dog liked me. So I feel like that's always a good sign. Like if the dog likes you, like that's a big like green flag. So I was like, okay, I feel good about this. So after the meeting, she like sent over the like paperwork and stuff. We confirmed it, and then yeah, everything was great. But of course, I signed with her the very first day of the writer's strike. I was like, no. I was like,
such a dark time.
Yeah, such unfortunate timing. But like, still, I was grateful. I was like, yay,
yes,
like amazing. Like I have an agent now. But like, I mean, the timing wasn't the greatest. But hey, she was still sending me on auditions. It was like a lot of like short films and like verticals because it had to be like non-union stuff. So yeah, she was still sending me on auditions. And then because of the writer's strike, that really pushed back a lot of things in Hollywood and like delayed everything. So this past year wasn't like the busiest for me audition wise. Like I know a lot of people were saying the same thing. They're like, oh yeah, like I haven't really been getting auditions. So I was like, okay, it's not just me, because at first I was confused. I was like, did she forget about me? Like what happened? But it just seems like that's just a thing in Hollywood right now. But yeah, I'm hoping things start to pick up a little bit more, but we'll see.
I think they will. But back to what you said about double messaging and shooting your shot type of vibe. First of all, you're hilarious. And second of all, a lot of this industry is pushing yourself and advocating yourself to the limits, to the max, like over and over and over again. And so first, that's very brave, because a lot of people will tell you contradicting things. They'll say, no, never email an agent. That's the worst thing you can do. That's so unprofessional. That's this, that's that. And then you also have other people who are like, no, you need to advocate for yourself. You need to push to be in those rooms. I think there's a validity to both sides of that statement. I think, yes, shoot your shot, be professional, you know, the right hours, say the right things, you know, put the right things in your email, whatever. But how else are we expected as these D, C, E, F, whatever list actors to get in these rooms if we're not advocating for ourselves, if we're not pushing and breaking down those doors? And especially now where it's so slow and we're in an age where we are saying and claiming that we have all this diversity and we're having different people in these rooms. But then again, it's kind of the same people over and over again. So I think, again, going back to just advocating for yourself, I think that's like one of the most important things in this industry, and knowing when to say no, and then eventually getting to a point where as an actor and actress, getting to that point where you're in these higher roles and positions where you have to say no to those lower things, or you're putting your, what you said before, I really liked, having that 100% confidence in yourself and pushing and knowing that you're meant for this and knowing that you're going to do this, and just keeping that in mind throughout the entire journey. Just being your biggest advocate is such a huge role. So yeah, again.
Yeah, no, you definitely like have to be like, you're the only one who's gonna like speak for yourself and like stand up for yourself. Like no one else is gonna do that for you, so you just have to put yourself out there, shoot your shot, and if it misses, then it's not meant to be for you. So
take any acting classes? Do you have any training or any of that sort?
Yes, I do. I've actually been going to my studio for almost 3 years. Oh my god, in February it'll be my 3-year anniversary with her. I love that.
Oh, is this the same one that got you the training thing for the agent?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
wow.
like the industry hour workshop.
Fun.
Yeah, no, she's great. A friend of mine had recommended her to me because I was like telling her, I was like, I really want to join an acting studio. Like, I feel like it's really important for me to be taking acting classes. Like, just, you're supposed to always like hone in on your craft, and just, I don't know. I feel like classes are important to further your growth and knowledge and your talent when it comes to being an actor. So I thought that was like very important for me. And like, especially I didn't do acting at all throughout college. I was like, I'm a bit rusty. I need to take acting classes for sure. And that's like another reason why I'm just like, okay, I know like things will happen when they're meant to happen, because this is the time for me to really like dive in and like put all of this like resources to my advantage so that I can grow and be a better actor. And one day like a casting director is gonna look at me and be like, you're the one I want.
I always remind myself, like, if they don't want me for who I am or what I look like, then why would I want to be in that room?
I'm a full believer in the saying, what's meant for me will find me. So I'm like, I'm just gonna let go and let God or the universe, whatever you believe in, and I know my time will come.
I love that. How was your experience moving from New Jersey all the way out here to the West Coast?
It was definitely very difficult to leave behind like all my family and friends, but at the time I knew like a friend, like an old friend from high school. She was already living out here, and it kind of was like perfect timing. And she was like, oh, like I'm going to need a new roommate starting in August. Like, would you be interested? Like, I know you wanted to move out to California. And I like told my parents about this, and I was like, I think this is my opportunity to take it and run with it. So I ended up like moving in with her, and it was great because like we had that like connection like through high school. So she like introduced me to like my current job, and yeah, like moving in with her like just made it a lot easier for me because like I already knew someone. I feel like if I had moved out here like truly like on my own, like living with like random roommates or even living on my own, I feel like it would have been even lonelier. And I feel like it was already so lonely because I was like, oh my God, like I have no friends out here. Like I don't know anyone. But that's also like the beauty of like working on set, because you're meeting like so many people that have similar interests and values and stuff. So I was able to like make a lot of friends through that. But yeah, like it's still like tough though, because all my family and friends are still in Jersey. So I'm always like missing them so much. But it's always like so sweet getting to go back to Jersey and visit my family and friends. Like, and then also just missing my old home, like just seeing like everything that I like grew up with and my favorite places. Like whenever I go home, I'm always going to my favorite bagel shop, my favorite coffee shop. So it's nice to miss it enough to like go back and be like, oh my God, like I love it. Like it's different now, like going back home, because I don't know, like that's just what I was used to for so long. But it also feels weird and different too, because when I go back, I'm like, this was never the place for me. Like I feel so at peace and so at home here in LA. Like it's the craziest thing. So I feel like that's how I know, like within myself, that like I'm like in the right place and I'm going for my dreams and goals. So
I love that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to like full send, and sometimes it's gonna be lonely and scary, but that's the only way you're gonna move towards your goals. So
yeah, that was really good. Well said. Welcome back to the segment here on the Bella Backstage podcast we like to call Fact or Myth. And Leilani is going to tell us either a fact or myth about being an actress.
Fact or myth? You have to be part of the union in order to become an actor. And that is a myth for sure. You do not have to be in the union to become an actor. There are several different projects you can join as a non-union actor. Of course, there are a lot of like bigger projects that require you to be part of the union, but if they really like want you, like the casting director's like, you're the person I want, like they will pay for you to be in the union. So that's like kind of like your ticket into joining SAG-AFTRA. It's not like completely impossible to like get these bigger roles, like just being a non-union actor. Like, are you part of the union? Yeah, I'm not either. So of course, like at the moment, like we're not getting like super big auditions, but it's not completely out of reach. Like that's why we have agents. Like the agents can still get you those bigger auditions. It's just like a matter of if the casting people or like the project wants to like pay for you to be a part of SAG, or they'll give you a voucher. That's another thing too. Like in order to join a union, like I think if you get a principal role, you just need the one voucher to become eligible. But you can also do like 3 background gigs, I believe, in order to become SAG eligible, which is what I am at the moment. I have like 4 vouchers, so like I can join, but do I have $3,000? No. So it's a lot of money to join the union.
Yes,
but
it is. More on unions. As a non-union actor, you do not need to be in the union. Like Leilani said, there's plenty of non-union roles, commercials that pay a great amount of money that are not union. There's all these projects that are out there. Being eligible, and if they don't make you join, is a great place to be in as a non-union actor, because it puts you in a place where if you're getting those big auditions, meeting those people and those casting directors in those rooms with those casting directors, then they would probably want to hire you more over someone who isn't eligible, because you are eligible. You have those union vouchers to show them, and you're ready to, you look professional and you're ready to be part of the union. But also, you also have to think about it when you're first starting out, and say you get really, really lucky. You go on a background job and they bump you and you get a union voucher, and you go and do another 2 background jobs, you get bumped again, and now you have 3 union vouchers. Like Leilani was saying, you need 3 in order to pay a fee and your dues and then get into the union and get your card. If you're a union actor, say again, back to my example, you now have your 3 vouchers, you get your card, and now you're in this bigger pool of union actors where you're competing against the Zendayas. You're competing against those B and A list actors. And so it's just a matter of your skill set, the people you know, your package, and all the things we've talked about. And so that's really a decision for each actor and your different ups and downs and a roller coaster of a ride of your acting career, where you want to be. And if you have that skill set, you have that package, you have that look to be able to go up against these A and B list actors, and that's amazing. And what comes to them goes to them, and what we receive is meant for us. And yeah, so that's just a little bit on union. That was a long tangent. Yes. But I always think that it's important to talk about not only the pros but the cons of being in the union, and that's just with any union in general. There's always pros and cons, but there's a lot of like misconceptions out there as well on unions.
Yeah, and I feel like a big thing too with like joining the union, like especially as a smaller actor, like it's very limiting. So you're not like getting as much work as like a smaller actor as you could be if like you're in the union. So I know like a lot of commercials, like they're looking specifically for non-union actors, or like for other like smaller jobs like short films, vertical miniseries, whatever, like they only will hire a non-union actor. So it kind of like puts you a little bit in like a deficit where it's like I'm not able to do certain jobs or get certain like commercials, but like it is, I guess, a good thing to be part of the union. But I feel like especially at the moment for smaller actors like us, it's like there's no rush to join the union. It's like take your time, like you'll get there when you get there with like future jobs or whatever that give you the vouchers. But I don't think it's like necessary to rush into it. Like you can still book a lot of really cool jobs.
You can work on non-union as a union actor, but the production will have to pay a lot of money for you to be able to work on that. There's like a fee or something. So a lot of the times production is not going to want to cough up that extra money to have a union actor unless you're that A-list celebrity with 1 million followers or 100 million followers, or etc. But yeah, everyone's journey is different, again, like you said before. What are your end all be all goals as an actress?
Oh my god, what a great question. I feel like I have so many like little random ones. Like one of them, I for sure like want to be at a level in my career where I can host SNL. Like I am a huge fan of Saturday Night Live. Like I tune in every Saturday night and it's just so great. Like I love the cast of the show and it's just so fun like seeing like your favorite actor host and do like funny silly sketches. So I would for sure love to do that. I don't know, I feel like it obviously depends on what type of series I get booked on in the future, but I would love to be on like a successful TV show where like everyone just like knows you for that one thing. Like if I joined a show like Friends or Abbott Elementary and like everyone knew me from that, I would be perfectly fine with not doing anything else. It's like, okay, like I did my 10 seasons of Friends, I'm done. Like if I was Jennifer Aniston or whoever else on the show, I would literally be set for life. I'd be like, okay, I don't have to work again. Because like again, it's not like for the money at all. It's like, okay, like I did this, I did my time, and then now can like live my life. And like I of course want like kids in the future, so I want to be able to have that flexibility to not have to work all the time, like just live off of the royalties or whatever. So yeah, I would love to do that. I have like random little goals of like people I want to work with too. Like I love Jennifer Coolidge. I think she's so funny and like just the coolest gal ever. So I would love to work with her. I don't know on what, but I'll take anything, honestly. Like even if it's just a little commercial, like a 1-minute thing. I'm like, I just want to work with her. She's so cool. And I don't know, I have like this fantasy that like I have like a show or movie where Gal Gadot is my mom. Like I love her. I think like she's so like cool and badass. Like her as Wonder Woman, I was like, yes, girl. Like that's another like franchise. Like again, like if I was in a Marvel franchise movie, like set for life, I'd be like, okay, thank you. I've done my time. Like I'm done. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't have to be in like every A-list blockbuster movie. It's like I just want to like, you know, be in like people's comfort shows and movies. Like that's another big goal of mine, is just to play like a cutesy little character that like people just want to watch and it makes them feel good. And whether that's in like a rom-com or like a comedy, love to do that. So yeah, I just have like very like random little goals here and there that I feel like are very like attainable, and I could reach that within my career. It's just like so random. Like it's nothing like so major.
Well, it's
exciting.
specific, which is good.
Yeah,
because now
like of course it's like very like niche to like my personal interest, but yeah, I'm like that's like how I would love to like curate my career, like around those few things.
I love that. And I am putting all that good energy for all that to happen.
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited for you. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode, our very first episode of the Understudy Series. And thank you so much, Leilani, for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Tune in to our next episode on this series and all our other podcast videos and episodes. Make sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on all socials, and we'll see you later.